AvePoint MyHub provides your business users a single interface to view and manage their various workspaces, including their Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365 groups, Yammer communities, and even SharePoint sites. When you first log into MyHub and you're on the Hubs tab, whether you're using the standalone version or the version supported by Cloud Governance, you will see cards that represent your various workspaces. If you have a lot of workspaces to look through, first thing you may want to do is change the view. Out here on the far right, you can switch from the card view to the list view. In the list view, you can see some of the information about that particular workspace, including its type, whether or not it's a favorite, and if you're a member. Out to the far right, you'll also see actions that you can potentially take, including viewing the information, tagging, leaving that workspace, emailing it, and editing it. There's also a final drop-down which allows you to jump to various aspects of that particular workspace. Since it's a team that I'm hovering over, I could click here to actually exit this screen and go directly over to the team if I wanted to view the conversation that was going on there, the Files tab, or anything else. Of course, if I need to get to something like the Files tab, or maybe its Notebook or even its Planner, I could jump right from here as well. These same options are also available back on the card view, along the bottom of any of the individual workspace cards. So as an example, if I have my laptop refresh project, I can click the star to add it to my favorites list. Your favorites are visible as one of the options from your Workspaces dropdown here at the top left. Obviously, you can end up with a lot of different workspaces, so using this dropdown for things like favorites can make things a lot easier on you. To reset the view, we're going to go to the dropdown again and choose All Workspaces. And of course, back out on the card view, we can also go to the dropdown and see those same navigational options that I was describing over in the list view. Now, in addition to viewing your workspaces as workspaces, even as favorites, what you can also do is create what are called hubs. Hubs are groupings of workspaces. They can be grouped via some type of theme, which could include keywords that you can search for. You can group even by your own ownership or membership in those workspaces. There are two ways to create hubs. One is you can click the Create Hub button over here on the right. You can also go into the Settings at the top right and Hub Management. In Hub Management, you will be able to review your hubs after you've created them, including editing and deleting them. But if I came in here, I could also click the Create button. Let's do it back from the main page. So I'll click Hubs, and over on the right, Create a Hub. In the Create a Hub panel, first we'll give the hub a name, and then below that, we can pin the hub for easy access, and we can set it as the home hub if I feel like I'm going to be in there quite a bit. Now down below that, how do we select the workspaces that should be in there? Well, we could filter, and by filtering, you can activate each of the individual types of workspaces, and then you can see things like public, private, things you've marked favorites, if you're a member or if you're an owner. In this case, we are going to do owner. We can also manually add the workspaces. And if we select that, and I turn on my teams, for instance, then it's going to be a search. Your search will look at things like the titles for the individual workspaces, their descriptions, and even some of the content that's there. So you could enter a word and then have something show up and not see it in the title or the description. If you had something you wanted, you simply select it and then click Add. In this case though, I'm going to click Cancel because for us, we said we're going to use the filter option. So I'll filter my teams, anything I'm the owner of. Now at this point, if I click Save, I will only be adding Microsoft Teams where I'm the owner. If I scroll down, we can do the same thing for Microsoft 365 groups. If I scroll further, we will also have options for SharePoint sites, but SharePoint sites don't consider owners in the same way teams and groups do. So here you can see you can do things like working from your favorites or from your tags. And if I select Yammer, I can select owner, as well as some of the other options. So in this case, maybe we'll clear SharePoint, and we'll work off of where we're owners for teams and groups. Down at the bottom, we'll click Save. Now, once that is done, you'll notice that particular new hub is available from the dropdown and is selected as your default, which means when you come back in here, that is what will be selected. Now, I listed it under pinned hubs and default hubs, which is why it's highlighted there in gray. If I wanted to change that, for instance, if I'm going to make other hubs and keep them under pinned, but still leave the My Workspaces hub as the default, where can I now go if I need to make that change? Well, remember, we can go into Settings, and under Settings, Hub Management, and here is the hub I just created. If we select it, we have an Edit button at the top right, and here are all of our options. So I'm going to clear the pin, and then click Save. Note, you can even do Save As if you want several hubs that have similar content. If I click the Hubs tab, we're back out to our normal view, and we can see that this is located down here, not under pinned. So we can see that there are several different ways to try to manage your workspaces. It starts with the ways that you're viewing the workspaces themselves, either the card view or the list view. We have options for each, things like adding them to favorites, and then you can view the favorites from the dropdown. And then you can go and make your own hubs, which is essentially a way to group your various workspaces. That can be done by ownership, that can be done by favorites, that can be done through tags, that can even be done through searching. And at any time, if you need to make modifications to any of your hubs, simply go to Settings into Hub Management. Thanks for watching this short video on managing your workspaces and hubs using AvePoint MyHub.